We could hear Alex Murdaugh give his own account of the night his wife and son were killed, and that could happen today. His lawyer says he could testify in his own defense, but the prosecution needs to narrow its cross-examination. His defense team is asking the judge to ban questions about Murdaugh's alleged money laundering, but if they come to an agreement, his testimony could happen today, or it could not. Criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool joins us now to discuss if this is a wise decision for Murdaugh to open himself up to questioning during the trial. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Sure. Good morning, Mitch. Thanks for having me.
All right. So most of the time, especially in high-profile cases like this, we do not see a defendant take the stand in his own defense. But this is an attorney and an experienced one and someone that the people in the community know. So I wonder what the calculus is for the defense attorneys there as they decide whether or not to put their client on the stand.
Hey, Mitch, this has been a heavyweight battle, like a boxing match. And the prosecution and defense have been sharing rounds. But look, we're into the late rounds in this trial. And the defense has to make a decision. Are they going to go for a knockout to try to get either a hung jury or an acquittal? And what I mean by that is the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room, Mitch, or in the courtroom, is this evidence, this Snapchat video that Paul had that shows, or you hear in the background, Alex Murdaugh within minutes of the shooting. Up until now, there has been no evidence on the defense side to refute that. There's three ways to do that. One would have been through Buster. He testified the other day. They could have asked him on direct, hey, is that your dad's laugh on that video, right? They didn't do that. So the only other two ways to get this into evidence is potentially through an expert witness who is going to come in and talk about the tape, right? The videotape, maybe say that it's unreliable, or maybe they say it's been tampered with, right? To at least create some doubt in the juror's mind. And the last way to do it is through Alex Murdaugh. That could be the only way they're going to be able to do it. So he might very well have to take the stand and be asked a couple of questions. Hey, was that you on the tape? Were you in the kennel within a few minutes of the shooting? And he's going to have to say no. So if none of those three things happen, I think Murdaugh is setting himself up for a conviction.
Well, so that, I guess, kind of answers my next question. I was going to say, isn't the defense solid enough already? But you're saying that Snapchat video is almost akin to a smoking gun, which, by the way, the prosecution lacks here.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Mitch. Up until now, it looks like the defense has done a tremendous job. For example, attacking the criminal investigation. In other words, they created a trial within a trial. They went tooth and nail after this investigation. Why didn't you investigate other suspects? Why didn't you go in and retrieve evidence within hours of the crime? Why didn't you go do testing for blood samples, both inside the home and inside Alex's mom's home? And then the other day, even, Mitch, they had two expert witnesses come in and say, hey, the shooter had to be between 5'2" and 5'5", right? So it can't be a guy that's 6'4". So they've done a great job with that, but without some reference to Murdaugh allegedly being there within a few minutes of a shooting, because who else could be there then within a few minutes to do this shooting? And it also proves that he's lied to law enforcement. So they have to address this question.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.